Kaylee with DeWitt Insurance Group, and I'm here with my good friend Millie Hines with Watergate Roofing. And spring has sprung. We have had our first storm come through this weekend, so we thought we would jump on and talk a little shop and let you know what, as a homeowner, you can do to make sure that your home is in good standing and how that will relate to your homeowner's insurance policy. So, Millie, after a storm happens, what's the first thing that a homeowner should do?
So if you know the damage isn't severe, I mean, if there's no active leaks or anything in your house and your roof is still on, I would walk around the house to make sure that there aren't any large branches on the roof or tree limbs down or power lines down or anything like that. And then I would actually take a few steps back from the roof and try to figure out if those shingles in your yard are yours or your neighbor's.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say from an insurance perspective, and especially with the storm this large, right?
Yeah.
So we had, our neighbors down in the southern part that got hit a whole lot more than the northern half. So, and that certainly looks a lot different, right? Because we get calls where people might have a shingle or two and they're like, well, what do I do? I have a couple pieces down where we might have some people that have some pretty bad storm damage right now.
Yeah, so the people who actually have just like one or two shingles down, generally that is not going to be approved for full roof replacement for wind damage through insurance, because it's generally, wind is usually straight line from one direction, and it will lift a few shingles and then possibly blow a few shingles off, but usually it's not that bad, usually.
So what do you recommend for someone that, say, some tree limbs fall in the home? Is that something that, a roofer can assist with in recommending someone to come out and
Yes,
get those
it
off?
is. Depending on if it literally like cracked the roof lining or whatever, then yes, we can help with that. And if there is a leak, we can totally tarp it. But other than that, any trees that have actually like destroyed a house or that are down in the yard, no, we can't help with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing we always recommend from the insurance perspective is, if you do have damage, always calling your insurance agent first compared to actually calling the insurance carrier. Now again, the severity of this claim, there might be some people and they're like, we need insurance involved right away. That's a different story, right? But for some people that have, some shingles or siding, we always recommend calling the agent first, because as soon as you call the insurance carrier, a lot of people don't know this, but that starts the claims process immediately. And so at that point, if you haven't already had a contractor out there to educate you and actually, walk the roof and see what kind of damage you're talking about, that can potentially down the road lead to future issues with your insurance, because, you don't know when your next claim will be, right?
Right.
So then it becomes the process of, having numerous claims or even zero paid out claims. Those show up as a frequency aspect too. So with rates on the rise with inflation and such, we certainly don't want to jump the gun and just automatically submit it to insurance without having a contractor educate you first on what you're dealing with.
Yes, that's completely true. And storm chasers.
Oh my.
So storm chasers, we knock doors. I love knocking doors. My guys knock the doors of neighbors of roofs that we've been doing. So door knocking is fine, but so can I give a few expert
tips?
Please
do, because it's a huge thing we run into, and
yes.
we hate to tell people that someone's done them wrong.
Yes. So door knockers and storm chasers. So they generally tell a homeowner, yes, you have damage, and no, sorry, I don't have any pictures. Always ask for pictures. And actually ask for a video to make sure that it's your roof that the damage pictures are on. And then with stormers, they usually have you sign a contingency agreement, which don't sign anything ever. Actually, you have 3 days to deny it, and then it's basically you have to work with them if in fact your roof gets approved for damage.
And that's one of the biggest things we see also, because a lot of times they might even include in the fine print that they're going to hire a public adjuster.
Right.
There's not a need for a public adjuster when it comes to a simple wind and hailstorm. When it comes to that, we see a lot of that with like fires. But when it comes to your catastrophic wind hail claims, that's not necessary. So that's one big thing, that when we see homeowners submit a claim directly to the insurance carrier, we always call them directly, because we really try and push to call us first. That way we can let you know what to expect, make any referrals if necessary if you don't have a roofer in mind. But really, once a storm chaser gets involved, it's just such a headache, because a lot of times if they hire a public adjuster and you don't know about it, the insurance company can't legally speak to you as a homeowner. you're left out to dry,
Yep.
and that makes the claims process a lot more tedious than it ever should have been.
Yep,
to
it
start
totally
with.
takes all of your power away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we see those a lot, that they'll come through in the middle of the day, where we have, the wife at home, the husband's away at work, they, kind of interrogate them, take advantage, and then they start the claims process. They're like, give us your policy number and we'll take care of it for you, making it seem so easy when really it's downright wrong.
Mm-mm.
So
Always get a second opinion in that
Right.
case.
So, but really, that's what we wanted to come here for, just to educate homeowners on the process of what that looks like after we have a storm come through Indiana and how that we can best help you.
Yeah. Give us a call. Thank you.